Hello, everyone. Welcome to Maidens of Mayhem podcast. I will be your DM. My name is Gabby. I have been a forever DM of 2 years now. I have only ever run Curse of Strahd in two separate campaigns. One is still ongoing. This is my first endeavor into anything else, especially into homebrew, so definitely be gentle with me. Another thing that you might look forward to slash be surprised by is at any moment there could be a bird in the room. You may suddenly hear flapping, clawing, a beak attacking me, or me suddenly being very freaked out. The bird does not live here, but the bird always comes in. It's a very exciting life that I live. But yeah, so you might want to listen just for surprise birds, who knows? But basically, we're going to introduce ourselves, kind of give you a little bit of an idea of what you might hear in this campaign, and you can decide if this is something for you. We'd really love it if you'd stay and go on this D&D adventure with us, but choice is ultimately yours. So I will pass it off to someone else now. Um, Molly, will you please introduce yourself and your character?
Absolutely. My name is Molly. I am a relatively new D&D player. I actually started playing over quarantine through Roll20, and I was introduced to Gabby, Michaela, and Morgan through a mutual friend of ours. I will be playing as Alessandra. She is a dhampir, which is a half-human, half-vampire hybrid, and she is a rogue. If I were going to describe Alessandra in one phrase, it would be angsty teen. Yes, she acts like an angsty teen despite her being 23. Alessandra is 6 foot even. She is very slim, and due to her vampiric lineage, she's very pale because she cannot go out in the sunlight. It doesn't hurt her, but it does weaken her. So any fights that will take out in broad daylight, I suppose, might be bad on her end, and I have a feeling our DM's going to be kind of evil with that information. And she is, the best way to describe her is very bold and brash and kind of rude. And the most interesting thing when you would look at her, not only does she have fangs, because half vampire, but she also has two different colored eyes, one red and one violet, that hints at her lineage. Despite her being very brash, she was actually raised very religiously. She was raised at the convent of the Blood Sisters. If you're a diehard D&D fan, it's not the kind of Blood Sisters you're thinking about, the very scary ones that are very evil, but she was raised in a splinter faction of Blood Sisters. And that's about as much information I'm going to provide because I feel like that's the only background information you'll need.
For now, at least. But that will take us up to our next player. Morgan, will you please introduce yourself and your character?
Sure thing. My name is Morgan. A little bit about me and my Dungeons and Dragons history. I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons for 3 or 4 years now. I was a forever DM until Gabby started up a Curse of Strahd campaign 2 years ago, and have luckily been able to be a player in that and a few other games through schools and stuff like that. In this, I will be playing Vesper Aurvandall, a human cleric of Twilight. Her deity is Celestian. She's about 6'2", pretty tall for a human, with blonde hair and white streaks through it. Usually up in like a half bun, half down kind of thing. She is not one to express her feelings very often, and she could probably come across as cold, but she really just likes to observe, and it mostly comes from her background of being an anthropologist. She really likes to learn about other cultures, other races, and just get the lowdown of everybody before she makes any opinions about them, really. She really isn't one to talk about herself, so that's probably all you really need to know about Vesper, is that she's just kind of here and likes to watch what's going down.
All right. And that will take us to our final player. Michaela, will you please introduce yourself and your character?
Guys, my name is Michaela. I'm gonna be playing a tiefling ranger. Her name is Nemmy Nemesis. She is of the neutral alignment. She doesn't have any particular religion. She's very lonesome. She is 5'6". She has reddish brown hair, and her skin is like a light violet. Her eyes a little bit darker. She is 28 years old. But as you come to see how Nemmy is, she doesn't act like she's 28 years old. She acts much younger, but that is mainly due to her lack of social skills. But she has a companion, and his name is Waffles McButters, and he is a guinea pig. Waffles mainly stays in a bag that is around Nemmy. She carries like a shoulder strap bag, and that is Waffles' home. She found him in a bush and picked him up, and ever since then, those two have been inseparable. Really isn't a people person. The only person that he likes to interact with is Nemmy. So he mainly and mostly stays in his sack. um, but as everybody gets to know Nemmy, you'll see that she's just lonesome and she loves company, but her social skills are for sure lacking. So that's all you guys really need to know about her.
So, as you can see, this is a very interesting bunch to come together. It'll be exciting to see how this plays out. But now that you've gotten to know the characters a little bit, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the plot. Avoiding spoilers, of course, because we want you guys to have something to come listen to. So our campaign starts just a few miles away from the Kingdom of Foundall, a homebrewed land of my own making. We will be following the shenanigans of three unlikely friends, Alessandra, Nemmy, and Vesper. The trio came together in the thrill of battle merely weeks ago and have decided after overhearing talks of a nomadic satyr tribe in need of aid to stick together. Over the course of the first story arc, Alessandra, Nemmy, and Vesper will assist a young satyr named Tulip on a clan traditional quest. Tulip has been marked, an event that only happens every 100 years, and now she must embark on a journey to meet with the Great Winged One. Worried for their inexperienced daughter, Tulip's family called out for help, and our heroes answered the call. Now, whether they can get her there alive has yet to be seen. Hopefully, that's enticing enough to get you to join us on this adventure. I promise it'll be fun and exciting and probably very torturous for the players involved, which will be fun for me. I think that's about it. If you want to follow us on any of our socials, we are on Instagram at Maidens of Mayhem Pod, and we are on Twitter at Maiden Mayhem Pod. So thanks for listening to this session 0. We will hopefully come back at you with a session number 1 into the campaign, probably about a week. So we will see you guys then. Bye.
Peace.
Uh,